Our topic of today is action and state of being verbs. And our end in mind is to define and identify different kind of verbs. The verbs are divided, or the verbs that we're gonna see today are divided into the action verbs and the state of being verbs. We'll be using a video. We're not watching the video complete.
Every sentence has a verb, quite often more than one. Here are some examples of verbs. Skate. She skates. Throws. The pitcher throws the ball. Goes. He goes to school. Was. She was sad.
Okay, as this boy told us, the verbs are actions that appear in our sentences or when we are speaking. He gave us the example of skate, throw, goes, and was. All of them are verbs. First, let's check which one are the action verbs. Let me check.
That express actions. Those are words that express actions. Things that you can observe. Things that you can do. For example,
Bobby studies the map.
Studies here is the action that Bobby is taking.
Emilio caught the ball.
Catching is an action. It is a thing that you can do. It is a thing that you can observe. Caught here is an action verb.
Felicia skated at the ice rink.
What is Felicia doing at the ice rink? She's skating. Skated is an action verb. It's a thing that she can do. It's a thing that she did. Every sentence needs...
Okay, let's stop here. So, as this boy told us, the action verbs are verbs that express action of movement. When you are moving, when you can see the people is moving and doing the action, that is an action verb. State of being verbs, which ones are?
Every sentence needs an action verb. Quite often, sentences use verbs of being. That is, words that express a state of being. For example,
Jamie was curious.
what is the verb in this sentence? Some might think curious, but curious is not something you can do. Can you curious? No, you cannot curious. The verb here is was. Students might reply, but you can't was. And I say, that's true, you can't was, but you can be. And the way that Jamie was being is curious. See, was is a form of be. She was being in the past, and the way she was being is curious.
Dr. Evil's secret lair is on an oil rig deep at sea.
So is another form of be. Is works in the present. Dr. Evil's secret lair is presently on an oil rig deep at sea. Is here is a verb of being.
Football can be dangerous.
And here's a direct form of be. There are many forms of be, and the correct form of be changes based on time and perspective.
Am, is, are, was, be, being, being, has, have, had, will be, has been.
Here's
Okay, to explain or to summarize this explanation, the state of being verbs are all the verbs that come from the verb to be or be. For example, I'm going to give one example. I am a teacher. Naim is a boy. Andrea and Luciano are in the class. So we're going to make an exercise. Let's go to the page 76 in your learning log, please. And we're going to be answering the exercise number 2. You have it like this. You have a chart that says action verbs, and in the other part says state of being verbs. I have this chart, okay? You have the same in your learning log, but I have it like this. We're gonna be putting these different verbs where they correspond. If they correspond in action verbs, you're gonna write them in action, and a state of being if they correspond to this place, to state of being verbs. Like this, it has to be your chart. The action verbs in the left side, the state of being in the right side. I'm going to continue, and we're going to go to the exercise number 1. We are going to identify the verb in each sentence, and we're going to write if it's a state of being verb or an action verb. Remember, in the purple square, you have the examples of the state of being verbs. We have the example in the number 1. For example, I am a good student, is a state of being verbs. Do you already have completed your activity number 1? We're gonna go to the exercise number 5 on page 77. Number 5 on page 77. We're gonna be answering these questions using action verbs and using the state of being verbs. So as we're gonna finish the class, let me explain the available activity is the number 4. You have it here. You are going to underline, tienen que subrayar, underline, los action verbs, and circle, circular, the state of being verbs. Les doy un ejemplo. En la number 1, we play during recess. Play. Play es un action verb, así que lo van a subrayar. Y así con todas las demás, ¿vale? Aquí tienen is, are, use, etc. Lo buscan y subrayan los action o encierran los state of being. Y ya le toman foto y la van a subir a la available activity que se llama verbs.